Welcome to episode 8 of Small Potatoes, a show where we discuss the insignificant, inconsequential, and often inappropriate tidbits of life that we feel deserve more attention. As always, it's all fun and games until someone cares. We don't, so it's all fun and games.
We're rolling.
So here's the chain of events.
Hello?
We all get together.
That's not our intro. Yeah, sing the theme song.
Sing
the theme song.
And yes, she's annoying.
Give it to me. What's it called?
What's the name of the show?
When you're eating or you like drop or spill something in your lap and you just immediately become like a baby who's just like, help me, and you're like, you can't get out of your position, you like can't get up out of your seat or like out of a squat, you're just like, I need help me with the napkin.
It's when you're eating like greasy food
napkin,
too, so your
please.
fingers are both greasy and you just literally cannot do anything.
Exactly, like you have no hands, you can't stand up straight or else the mess will fall on the floor.
Okay, so
You just need assistance from anyone who's around.
with that same idea, this happens to me all the time, is that there's like a couple of seconds in between the time where you spill something on yourself and the time that it seeps through the clothes and touches your skin. And that is the worst moments because you know it's about to happen. So what I've started doing is just like accepting it, and like how people get shot in movies, I just like kind of push it in. I just push it in.
You
and
lean in.
I lean into
Rub
it
it
and
in.
push it so I just like get to feel it.
Oh, just push through the other side. Make it a cleaner break.
Exactly. It's always such a sad moment because I do that baby thing. I'm like, and then I push it into and I feel it in my skin. Then I have to change my shirt. Guys, I have to change my shirt every day.
Well, that's because you are a literal monster. I believe every time you eat, Anthony, you are constantly spilling all over yourself. You have never been a clean eater.
The crazy thing is I'm always led to believe like I got away with it. And then I go to work and I show up at work and someone's like, is that chocolate? It's like so the color of it is so weird that you like have to guess
You have to guess
what
it
the
is.
substance is. It's so annoying because when I get gifted white shirts, I get sad. Like I don't even get to like
Don't give me a white shirt. I don't
Why
own
is it so
a white
cool?
piece of clothing
But, like-
at all. Actually, that's not true. I had one white t-shirt that lasted like 3 years and I loved that thing. And I just looked at it and it had like a baseball-sized coffee stain on it in my closet,
Yeah.
which means I first of all didn't notice that I got it and then washed it and then didn't notice that it was there when I washed it or when I folded it and put it in my closet. And I go to look at it and it's a huge brown stain.
How many times do you think you've worn this shirt with the stain without noticing?
Oh, never. I don't think I wore it, but I looked at it multiple times, folded it, like handled it, and never saw this giant ass stain. And I was like, well, that's the end of that shirt. You know that feeling where you're like, damn, I really like this shirt, but 'tis the end, old friend.
Oh, that is so sad. You know what I've done?
Goodbye.
I
You've served me well.
kept those shirts for a very long time. Like legitimately like
All the out of commission ones.
black shirt, white underarms.
Nasty.
Yeah, the
Nasty.
underarms are fully white, and I just was like, you know what? I would rather look at it every day hanging up in my closet than get rid of it.
You know, Trevor, I feel like at least you have closure with those articles of clothing. And you're like, okay, I'm sending this away. You served me well. But you know, when you like see yourself in a picture and you're wearing a shirt and you're like, where the fuck did that go? Like,
Yeah,
Wait a
like my
minute.
white lost
I
shirt, Spencer.
Loved that outfit.
Where's my white lost t-shirt?
For everyone that's wondering what Anthony's talking about, he's talking about a shirt I borrowed from him in 8th grade.
Yes.
Lost.
Yes.
Yes.
It's lost.
Wait, the brand Lost?
Yes.
That's how old this story is that it's the brand Lost, which no one's
Absolutely.
worn since 2011.
Trevor, listen, it doesn't matter how old it is. It matters that I still remember and you never gave it back.
All I know is that it was in my room for years, and you could have grabbed it anytime you wanted. You were always there. It was available.
I
to
know
you.
the rules around your
wasn't-
house.
I wasn't holding it hostage.
He didn't want to be rude and go into your things.
Yeah, I didn't want to be rude. First, I mean,
You are rude. What?
I am not rude. Look, getting into Spencer's house was always difficult, guys. You were required to wash your hands before you walked in the house. You were required to remove your shoes, but to leave on your socks. If you had holes in your socks, you had to put on booties.
You had to put on those moleskins over the holes.
Yes.
Just walk around.
They had those hospital socks with like grip on the bottom.
the gripping.
The grippies. Yes. And yeah, you had to
Come on, keep the bit going.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of what I couldn't come up with anything. Anyways, I still remember that lost shirt.
I know. Yeah.
It was stolen,
Not lost.
not lost.
Heyo.
Oh my god, lost. I owned a lot of lost apparel.
That's crazy though, because there are some shirts that I go, oh, where'd you go?
I miss you.
Where'd you go?
Hey, old friend.
So I have a small potato
Yeah.
that is specific to the time we live in now, as well as always. Okay?
Okay. So wait a minute. It's applicable to all time, but also specific to right now.
Yep.
Got it. Let's go.
Sounds profound.
Give it to me.
Okay. So when you go to any type of fast food place or food like a sandwich place or anything like that, where they have
I do that.
a glass, you'll care. They'll have a glass window that separates the customer from the employee,
A
Now-
spit screen, if you will.
if you will. Now, during
I will.
a pandemic, if you will, during a pandemic, if you will, you're required to be extra distant from these glass walls.
Well, but I can't hear the guy.
Yep.
He can't hear me.
Yep.
So I'll just have to.
So you might have to get closer. So you might be understanding where I'm getting to. I
do.
was at a place called Zao, which is like a healthier Panda Express. It's like the Panda Express without the tummy aches. And
But those tummy aches are
You-
so worth it, though.
they're so. We'll talk about that
Well,
afterwards.
you can talk about it afterwards.
We'll talk about the Panda Express tummy aches in a minute. Put a pin in that. So I'm at this place, and it literally is like there's all these signs talking about, make sure you're distant. And and look, think about what you want about the pandemic, but if this was the normal world pre-pandemic, don't be this close. This guy walked over to the glass. He was tall enough where he put his arms over the glass, and then kind of like the glass was like literally like sitting in his armpits. And he was now pointing directly at every single thing he wanted
Oh.
That's
and
so
telling the
gross.
lady, I want this one. And he's like, look, he says, I want white rice. Okay. Now, you don't need to point out white rice
That
because
grain.
everybody,
And that grain. Not that
Everybody
grain.
knows
Hey, put that back. That grain.
where
and
white rice
that
is.
grain. And that grain.
This-
Only 100 more.
this guy could have just grabbed a spoon for himself and just started dishing up. And I was just so angry because I can't even believe that someone would have the nerve to do any of this, especially given the current climate of what life is like. And I was very angry, and I felt kind of boomerish. Like I was like moving around. I was starting to talk really loud, like not caring that this guy can hear me, that I'm upset by how close he is
What does this guy think
to
he's doing?
all of my food. I'm literally like, what is he doing? And she's like, shh.
Are you
My
kidding
girlfriend's
me?
like, stop. She's like, he can hear you. And I'm like, no, yeah, this guy is so dumb.
He needs to hear me.
He can't hear me because he's so dumb. Oh, I was livid.
My favorite thing is when I'm getting my order taken and, there's that plastic spit screen that we like to call it.
I will.
And the person goes around the spit screen to talk to me. And I'm like, this is defeating the whole entire purpose. Sorry, what was that?
I'm curious, Trevor, you once worked at a non-named sandwich place. What was that experience like interacting with a customer across the glass in a pre-COVID world?
The spit screen at the undisclosed sandwich place is covered in fingerprints.
Ew.
And people love to luckily it was tall, so not everyone could, but people love to reach on over, point over, just like the guy you're talking about. It was a shit
Yeah.
show. But at the time, it wasn't a huge deal because people's spit was clean. It was sterile.
Yeah, it was.
And so
Yeah, if
you
you
could
will.
spit all over the
Back then.
sandwich ingredients. Corporate don't care. Corporate's like,
Mhm.
whatever, dude. We're just living that California lifestyle. We're chilling. We're laxing. We don't care. And then, well, you guys know what happened next.
Yeah.
Bats.
Okay.
Bats took over the restaurant, and we had to close down.
Fucking bats.
Oh.
Cool. All right. Okay. So remember how I put a pin in Panda Express?
Oh yeah.
Let's
talk about it.
absolutely.
So Panda Express
Fucking rips.
is
Let's start with that.
amazing. Let's talk about how
Delicious.
good Panda Express is.
Oh my god.
Like when you get
Perfection.
a fresh, overcooked batch of orange chicken that's just crispy, like it didn't get soggy just yet,
Mhm.
It is. Mwah.
The consistency.
Absolutely.
It's all about the consistency for me.
Oh. And for some reason, that white rice might as well be sugar.
You get white rice? Wait, what? You
Of
don't-
course.
Wait.
get
You don't
the
get fried rice.
course.
Fried rice. You get fried
Fried
rice.
rice.
Yeah, and to be honest, hot take, to be honest, their fried rice kind of sucks. Kind of doesn't taste like anything.
What?
So
Wait,
sorry.
Says someone that says,
You
I'm
prefer-
getting white rice.
Yeah, you prefer the plain rice over the other rice because it doesn't have flavor? I don't.
Yeah.
That's like,
Because
oh,
it
like-
feels weird.
Here.
Coke isn't flavorful enough for me. I prefer water. What?
Yes, but if you start drinking Coke and it tastes like water, you'd rather drink water, right?
Okay, that's true.
If I'm eating something that looks like there should be other things involved, other flavors, if there's carrots in my food, I'm going to be like, this tastes exactly like white rice.
You
I'm probably
can't-
going to just have
You're
the
telling
normal
me
steamed rice.
you can't taste the carrot when you bite into that
The
fried
egg?
rice?
I'm telling you, Panda.
The piece de
look, I'm-
resistance of the fried rice is the egg.
The egg?
Look,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
so yummy.
absolutely.
First of all, Panda, they don't have like one egg per massive batch of fried rice.
You don't know how they
You'd be
make it.
lucky if you get served that egg.
They let a chicken walk by the pot.
Glance. Okay. Anyways,
Yeah, go.
Panda Express, so yummy.
I've discussed this with you before. I get Panda Express twice a year. And
Yes.
yeah, because
So just for everyone else listening, there's this like kind of this thing that Spencer and I came up, this like phenomenon, if you will, about Panda Express
I will.
that you can explain it.
I'll explain. Okay, so Panda Express is so fucking delicious, right? We've established that. But it leaves you feeling pooty poo poo is how I could put it. Like your tummy is not in the greatest place, in the greatest mindset.
Almost
And-
immediately after you finish your meal.
It's very uncanny.
Much like the great panda of Asia was not meant to eat bamboo, yet it does, and it feels like shit for it. The average human was not meant to eat an entire 2 entree plate from Panda Express, yet we do.
Yeah, we do it. And the thing is I know that Panda Express is so good, but I know it makes me feel so bad that I allow myself to get it twice a year, knowing, okay, I'm gonna feel really bad, and that's okay. And then I forget about how bad I feel, and then half a year goes by and I go, I can do it again. I can get it on again.
Are they specific dates, or is it just any random 6 months apart situation?
No, it's when I think like I want Panda Express. That's usually when it's like I've forgotten how bad it makes me
You've
feel.
forgotten. And this is the phenomenon. It's the phenomenon that your memory for how good Panda Express lasts longer than the memory of how bad it felt.
That
As soon as
is
it lasts a little bit longer, then you're like, oh, I could do some Panda
I
again.
can do it again.
And then the person who knows how bad Panda is like, we can't do that. And you're like, but I've forgotten. I know that it's going to hurt me. But right now, all I can think about is the teriyaki chicken.
Oof, that sweet sauce, pour it all over my rice and chicken.
Some honey walnut shrimp.
Ooh.
Get me feeling funky. Anybody crazy enough to ever get 3 entrees?
Is that an option?
God.
Do they have containers?
What?
Yeah, dude. Have you ever seen the menu? They have a menu. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. I thought they only served plates.
One time they
I'm
gave
not
me
looking
a
up top,
plate.
I'm looking
They
at the
gave me
food.
a plate one time, and I remember being angry. I remember being like, what is this? Why are you giving me a plate? What is this? You know that I'm going to not finish this and I'm going to pack it up and put it inside my refrigerator and eat it later when it's not nearly as yummy. Why are you giving me a plate? Just adding more trash.
It's accurate. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so listen. I do have to tell you something.
Please.
In last week's episode, oh no, that's not true. I have to tell you something. In a couple episodes ago, we talked about how the popcorn button exists on a microwave and how I, for the longest time, believed that that was a bad, like you're not supposed to use the popcorn button until just very recently. Well, my brother listened to that episode and he was like, dude, I can't believe you didn't know this. But do you remember way back when we were kids how he used the popcorn button and our microwave started smoking? And so then he never used it again because it was an old microwave. But he knew that was a bad microwave. But I was just far enough removed from the situation that I believed that the popcorn button was bad on all microwaves.
For the rest
and I
of your
literally
life.
just yesterday heard this information and was like, are you kidding me? My entire life, I believed the popcorn button was bad because of this?
Well, so you
And he
got
was
the
like, yeah,
same
dude.
information that everyone else got. You just got it through a different vehicle. Like, we all were told the popcorn button was no good. You were just told that it was physically broken. Either way, you still didn't use the popcorn button just like everybody else, except for Spencer.
Who that? I don't want to go into it, but that is just fucking ridiculous. And it is printed on the label, so I get it.
So yeah, just crazy. I just learned that, and I'm very sad to report that I've spent times putting my face in front of the microwave and, getting tumors
Oh, it all would have been...
for years.
that
years,
wouldn't have
yeah.
happened if you just used the popcorn button.
Exactly.
Switching gears here a little bit, I want to bring to the table maybe not such a small potato. I don't know how big of a potato it is, but Trevor, I don't know how many weddings have you been to besides mine?
So few. Like, in my adult life, I don't think any.
Okay.
Dude, you're barely an adult.
Yeah.
Okay, but like...
Don't separate them.
Okay, since I was 12, maybe like 2.
Just say always. If you've been to 2, you don't need
Well,
to separate your life
I went
into
to
sections.
more when I was a child, but I feel like it doesn't really count for like the wedding experience. In my like time as a person who can enjoy the wedding experience, like not even, I don't think any.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I wanted to talk about, I'm sure you know about this tradition, the Garter Toss tradition,
I've watched TV.
where
I've seen movies.
yeah, where they play this like Magic Mike stripper music, and the groom comes out like dancing all sexy as the bride is just sitting there like, oh, what's gonna happen? And then in front of the whole crowd, parents, grandparents, children, this man puts his
Let's
face
get it on.
up her dress
Mm-hmm.
and gets the garter off with his teeth.
Keep going.
It is stop. This is exactly why it is the most uncomfortable
And then what do they do?
experience.
Where does he put his teeth next? Okay, look. It's a hell of a lot better than what they used to do, which I'm pretty sure it's the same like tradition, just so far removed from its original use. But when like a king and a queen or a lord and a lady would get married, the whole wedding would follow them to the bedroom and watch them fuck to prove
Watch their first
that like
fuck
their marriage was legit.
consummated. Yeah.
And I feel like what we have now is much more acceptable, much more fun for everyone, and I'm all for it.
So, I want to say, I think, Spencer, it definitely is extremely weird. But I honestly think if you zoom out a little bit, the entire process of what a wedding is kind of essentially a similar type of thing.
The whole wedding is
Kind
a
of just
small
some
potato. Let's be real.
ceremony. Yeah, right.
Uh-huh.
Weddings are small potatoes.
They're not, real. There's nothing actually happening. Nothing changes.
Nothing really changes.
No, but I did go to a wedding
It's
one
just like,
time.
now if you die, I gotta deal with it.
I did go to a wedding one time where it was deep in the mountains, and oh my gosh, this was wonderful. Their honeymoon location was where the wedding was at. So, kind of how you said it happened in ancient times, Trevor. The way I didn't know anybody here, so this was just so hilarious to watch but uncomfortable. Was everybody after the wedding cheered them on as they walked upstairs, and that's where they presided. That's where they were like, all right, guys, see you later, in the same house that we are all in, mind you not, on the bottom floor. So it was really uncomfortable.
I'm sorry, this was an LDS wedding? Or no?
No. This was not.
This was a normie
It was
wedding?
actually not.
I will
It was
say,
a normal person wedding.
I will say, there is this like weird air at weddings that involve two people that like have saved themselves until marriage, because I feel like everyone is thinking about it.
Mhm.
Just like, okay,
These two fucking
tonight
dorks.
is the night. These dorks are getting into
These
it.
two nerds are about to bone, and it's gonna be not good.
It's gonna be hella awkward. You know, like, was your first sexual experience like the greatest of all time, or was it like, oh, that was
It was like
so uncomfortable?
middle of the road. Like, it wasn't incredibly awkward. Like, it's not an embarrassing story, but it wasn't like groundbreaking. It was like, oh, that's like a little bit better than I thought it would be.
Oh my goodness. Groundbreaking. That's such a funny word. We've struck ground. We've struck ground. Alert the captain.
That was another small potato that I wanted to bring up, are idioms in general. Like, who the hell came up with these random idioms?
Do you have a
to
specific
mean
one that we could like dissect, or do you
random
just have
ass
like
things?
a
Yes,
problem
ready?
with a literary device?
Here's the
Grammar.
one that I want to really specifically address is kicking the bucket.
Okay.
He kicked the bucket. That means he died, for anybody who's not familiar with the idiom.
Dude, that's so morbid. Honestly, on a comedy podcast, fuck off.
This is not just comedy. We talk about real life.
People die, dude. People literally die.
I know someone that died.
This is about being raw and emotional.
He said it was awful.
Trevor knows someone
He said
that
it
died,
was
Spencer.
awful.
Spencer, Trevor knows somebody that died.
I know personal victims. I know survivors of death,
Of death.
and they do not recommend it.
Listen, don't recommend it. Like, let's just say this. Death has got some pretty bad Yelp reviews.
Those Yelp reviews that say, if I could give it 0 stars if I could.
Would not do again. We will not be coming back here. That's for sure.
So yeah, go ahead, mean Spencer. Go ahead and
Okay.
make your jokes now.
No, it's just that specific one. Kicking the bucket. What does it mean? What is it alluding to? How in the hell does that mean? Oh, he died.
I thought the stupid questions you could just Google were my thing. Like, you could look this up very easily.
I know that. But that one
Okay.
is just so, like, left field, whatever the saying is, out of
Just so you know
bounds.
how stupid questions
Another
get.
stupid idiom that Spencer can't even fucking fathom.
Sports idioms are just...
Anyway,
What were we talking about?
no.
Idioms?
Idioms, but it got away from us. It's-
Okay, I have others. Okay,
go ahead.
this one's a real small potato. I love the planet. I love it. Never catch me thinking or saying that I don't love it, because I do. That being said, let's talk about grass, motherfuckers.
Okay.
What? Grass, I want you to know, is invasive, Anthony. So
Yeah,
this is
well,
good.
yeah. So, well, good. Well, yeah, fuck grass. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, fuck it.
Is fuck grass. Here's why. This is such a small potato, is making the conscious decision to refuse to walk on the sidewalk and to walk on the grass instead, so that you can have the shortest route possible. But I think the even smaller potato is making that battle in your brain, figuring out if you want to be cool enough and to walk on the sidewalk and look cool in front of anybody who might be watching you, or to just be like, fuck it, I'm going to walk through the grass. I don't care about my shoes today, and to take the shortest route possible to wherever you're trying to go.
What's your question?
You just set that up as if it was like some brave act of breaking social norms to walk on grass.
No, yeah, dude. I don't know if maybe it's just me then, but I always struggle in my head being like, I'm gonna look weird like the shortcut guy, or I could just be cool and normal.
As a delivery boy, it's weird when I have to make that decision 50 times a day, and the person whose lawn it is looking at me, watching me, and I have to go, okay, well, I could go around the path, but they might say to me, just walk across the lawn, or I walk across the lawn and they don't say anything because you don't really say anything when that happens, but you're like, that was kind of rude, but you don't say anything. So I have to make that internal decision all the time. And thank God for our arid climate here in California. A lot of people are switching to those cactus and rock lawns, which I'm a fan of.
I am not a fan of.
I think cacti look dope as hell.
Let me tell you this.
Oh, Anthony, I love the planet, but don't get rid of lawns because
I absolutely love the planet, but do not get rid of lawns.
Because I like wasting water.
Yeah. Listen, when you walk on rocks, it's no longer level, and now you're like more effort into taking the shortcut. When you're like, now I could have just like had less effort and gone on the sidewalk. Even though this is shorter, now I have to like stabilize my body as it's walking through these unstable rocks.
Typical.
Not gonna happen. I'd rather make a deer trail out of the grass that already exists.
Typical human would rather do something unenvironmental than be inconvenienced, than be uncomfortable.
Look, I'm the most environmental
That's why
person.
the planet is dying. The planet you claim to love is dying because people like you were like, but lawns are more soft.
Dude, they are. I'm the most environmental
They also
person.
take up way too much water. We're running out.
Where? I see water in my there's water right there.
There's water on my desk right now.
It's an endangered species.
There's water on my desk literally right now.
You said grass was an what'd you say?
Water's endangered.
You said grass was a invasive species? Well, water is endangered.
That's like a big potato though. That's sad. Water is endangered.
This is entering big potato territory.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to say
As we dip our toes
that-
into climate change. Ooh.
yeah. I'm just trying to say that I think about it all the time about whether or not I'm going to do the walk across the grass thing or walk on the sidewalk. And that's a big thing on college campuses. Because college campuses have just the biggest patches of grass.
Oh, yeah.
And like a way longer distance to go if you're going to decide to go on the sidewalk.
That's why there's so much confusion over the JFK murder, because the killer was like, I could walk across this grassy lawn, or I could just shoot from over here. 50 years later, we're like, where was he?
Oh my God.
What's going on?
Oh my God.
And to this day, was there a second shooter? Did he take the grass?
Oh.
Or did he take the rocks and save the planet
Oh my goodness.
and save the country, maybe? I don't know. I'm not a time traveler. I don't know the different potential timelines that we could have created by putting a rock lawn there in Dallas.
Oh.
Putting a rock. Had we known about climate change sooner?
Had we switched to cacti,
I'm just saying.
Lee Harvey Oswald would have fallen into a saguara, and been caught instead of being killed by the menace Jack Ruby. And that's all I know about that topic of history. Those are all the names and fun facts that I can name.
That was way more than I knew. That's amazing.
Yeah, dude. Okay. Did anybody else have a small potato? Did we all do it? We all went through one.
We all went through one. We could go through our fans. Or
Oh,
could do
yeah.
one
We
more.
can go through our fans.
Okay, let's talk about what the fans had to say.
A lot of audience submissions.
So for you guys, it's like a month and a half later, and you hadn't heard any mention of fan submissions, but we're getting to them now because it's actually like a couple days after you submitted them right now. So just a little sneak peek into the behind the scenes of this show. All right, let's get to it.
Okay.
All right.
So on Instagram, we had some audience submissions. If you haven't followed us yet, Small Potatoes Pod, what are you doing? Follow it.
How do you know about this podcast if you're not following us? That's my question.
Yeah, that's it.
That
Ready?
is concerning
If
to me.
anyone knows about this podcast and isn't following, please email us at smallpotatoespod@gmail.com and explain your reasoning why. I would love to
let
know.
us know.
How'd you find us?
Okay. For audience submissions on Instagram, we had people send in their small potatoes. So we're going to do a rapid speed round, and we're going to talk about your guys' small potatoes.
Okay, so the first one that we had submitted says, when you get a girl's hair stuck in your bum and you have to pull it out. Now, this one I have personal experience with. Anybody that has lived with a long-haired individual probably has had this experience. But when you're, sorry that we do this a lot on this podcast, but when you're taking a poop, a shit,
We do this a
and
lot.
you're wiping, we do, and you're wiping, and all of a sudden you're feeling like a tug at your own butt hairs, and you're like, what is
Wait,
that?
when you're wiping?
When you are wiping.
Oh, I've never had that happen. I've had that happen in the shower, but like,
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
oh my.
Wiping your butt, and this girl has 3 feet of fucking hair, and it all is coming out.
Can I tell you? My hair at various times in my life has been long because we all want to live to be like Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith, obviously. Thank you, Hayden Christensen.
Yeah. All of us.
I've had my own hair end up there, and just through a casual swipe of the, of the pants, been like, oh, there's like a hair there, and I pull it, and you feel it. Just slide all the way up and give yourself your own credit card.
Ugh.
It's also not a great feeling.
It's so unpleasant.
There's nothing more invasive than the tiniest little strand of hair just squeezing its way.
Squeeze.
But yeah, it's very uncomfortable. So whoever put that in, yes, you're right. It sucks. And it's incredibly small, literally.
All right, then let's move on. What else we got? Is having an iPhone worth it? Yes. Moving on.
First of all, if you ruin my group chat by creating a new one and then all of a sudden everything turns to green text, you're the worst. And now I no longer participate in this group chat
Look, I was that guy for a number of years,
for so long.
and I was like, no, guys, you guys are just a bunch of zombies following your Apple overlords.
Sheeple.
You guys are sheeple. And then I switched, and I immediately became an Apple supremacist. Like, within seconds. It's so much better, you guys. Anyone
Oh
with
my
Android, like,
gosh.
I like my personal customization and that I can download third-party apps. Nope. That's a bunch of stupid
Nope.
shit compared to the luxury of having an iPhone.
Perfect.
Ugh.
Wonderfully said. Okay, here's another. I can't stand the sound of people kissing. Me neither. Gross.
I'm not a fan.
Don't do it around other people.
Yeah, I don't not like it. Not a
What does
fan.
that mean?
I think it's lovely, and I'm not a fan because that's creepy, but I'm not opposed
Yeah.
to it. It's like, hey, good for them. Make out with your guy, make out with your gal, make out with your significant other, because love is hard to get. So when you can get it, maybe show it off a little. Who cares? We're all gonna die. It's all small potatoes. Show it
I
off.
do
a little
agree
bit.
with you, Trevor, but it's only for me. I'll put the stipulation of strangers doing PDA. I'm all for it. I applaud it. I'm like, yes, show your love. But when somebody I know
Mhm.
is touching up on their significant other, I'm like, ugh.
That's a very good
please.
point. That's a very
fucking
good point.
gross.
Yeah, yeah.
PDA is fine so long as the PDA lasted like that. Okay?
Yeah, a nice little peck on
There's
the...
no reason
peck
why
on the
this needs
cheek.
to last longer.
Mhm.
For all parties involved. I don't want you to get to the stage where I'm now thinking about the sound of your kissing. And I think this is what this person is talking about is what kind of situation are you in where now I can actively have sat there and been like, oh, now I'm only thinking about the sound of your kissing, because that's disgusting. Moving on.
Moving on.
Going back to iPhones, this one says, my Twitter is in light mode. And this one immediately set me off because, like,
You are wrong.
your whole phone needs to be in dark mode.
Yeah.
What are
Everything.
you doing?
Absolutely everything.
How are your eyes?
You're trying to go blind?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Do you never look at your phone at nighttime? Cool.
How do you not listen to the science?
This person is like, I go to bed on time, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
And you're like, cool, good for you that you go to bed on time. But
I don't have any melatonin issues. I'm like, okay. You're so cool.
Okay, you fucking nerd.
But I am awake at nighttime. Fucking nerd. Cool.
All right, cool.
So yeah, don't do that.
The 2000s marks the last of the simple times. I think that's
Wrong.
stupid.
It's wrong because you were just a kid in the 2000s.
You're just a
And
kid.
yes, being a kid is simple.
But also,
Being an adult fucking sucks.
I really do miss the fact that punk rock music was the coolest thing ever and everyone wore 3 belts. That was awesome.
You liked excessive accessories?
3 belts? Your pants were never going to come off.
I did like the
You
I
are
did
so
like the
secure.
spikes on clothes. I liked when clothes were spiked. I think that was fun.
By the way, in the 2000s, I had that Lost shirt.
Imagine trying to have a quickie with somebody who's wearing 3 belts. Cause like,
Oh, yeah.
fucking
Going to go on commercial break for that. Okay. This one, dear to my heart. Deep dish pizza is not pizza. Now, I'm just going to say, fucking hate deep dish pizza. And that's why I will cannot consider it pizza because it's disgusting.
What is gross about it? I just want.
What is gross? I'm not eating cake. I go to a pizza place to eat pizza, not cake.
2 things, Anthony. The first thing is quick. And it's I don't think you've had enough deep dish pizza because a lot of places make it very differently. Some people do a
Cool,
lot
you went
of
to school in
crust.
Chicago. We get
Some
it.
people do a lot of
Yeah.
sauce. Some people do a lot of cheese. They're all very different from each other, and they're more like a pie. Second thing, and this is on the broader topic, I don't care what's real pizza and what's not pizza. That is the most small potatoes thing to me because people will be like, oh, well, actually, in Italy, they don't use tomato sauce, so even American pizza isn't real pizza. Okay, so we don't have pizza now? We don't have pizza in America? No, it's all pizza. It's food. Like, you can't designate what, like, oh, now it's not pizza anymore because of this ingredient. No, it's all fucking pizza if we call it pizza.
I was gonna say, Trevor, I was on your side until you were just giving off these like middle-aged white man vibes.
Yeah.
Now I'm
It's
like,
just
Now nobody can be on your side.
It's stupid.
not on your side, and I
It's
have to now
stupid
be on
because it's
Anthony's
like,
side,
no,
even though
I don't
like it.
Okay, I don't like that thing, so it's not the thing that it is because I like the thing that it is, but I don't like that thing, so it's not that thing. Okay.
All right, so
Okay.
what you're saying to me is
America
that
has more pizza than Italy, so technically Italy doesn't have pizza. Fuck you, Italy. We have the pizza now, and now what you used to call pizza is no longer pizza. We own that,
Now Italian pizza.
and now it's Italian pizza.
there you go. Pissed off all of our Italian listeners.
I'm not afraid.
All right, moving on.
Okay.
Tomatoes overwhelm every other flavor and ruin the meal. Okay,
This is,
so
Just let him speak, Spencer. Just let
Dear-
him go,
Go,
until
Anthony.
he's tired.
yeah, I know.
dear to my heart, tomatoes overwhelm every other flavor, and that is so true, and they ruin your meal, just like pickles do. Because when you ask for them to not be in your burger, for example, and they put it in, as soon as you take it out and you take a bite, you're like, hey, there was clearly a tomato in here. Ruined forever. Tomatoes are the worst.
That is
But
such a
ketchup
piss
is the best.
poor analogy because pickles are by design so overwhelming. They have
Yeah,
vinegar,
sure.
which is so
Sure.
overwhelming to your mouth that of course it's going to leave behind residue.
Exactly.
But a tomato
Yep.
enhances flavor in everything.
Well-
It is literally the best thing to add to
Tomato
any
is like
meal.
a second patty of flavor.
yeah.
Like
Of tomato.
veggie fruit flavor.
Do you
So
not
exactly,
like
and
pico
you
de
can
gallo?
taste it. Okay. I like salsa, bitch.
Okay.
I don't like chunks of tomato. I don't want to eat a tomato with my chips. I want salsa.
I'm gonna tell you right now, good salsa has chunks of tomato in it.
I know, but very small and fine amount. If it's a very light, petite amount, as we would say,
That's
over
like
on
going,
my side
I
of
don't
the
like to
pond.
put, to your own analogy, I don't like to put a pickle in my hot dog. I prefer relish.
Yeah, I totally said
Yes.
that. I totally said that. That was my analogy. No, I didn't say that.
No, it's
I
same
don't want the
exact
pickle in it
thing,
at
yes.
all.
It's the same thing. Relish is the salsa of pickles.
Very petite
Yes.
amount.
To say you can enjoy salsa like in a burrito.
Like structurally, they're the same.
No, I enjoy salsa. I enjoy ketchup. I enjoy barbecue sauce. But just like these people, we don't enjoy tomatoes, especially when they're sun-dried.
Tomatoes are delicious, and they're like the secondary item to whatever patty or meat that you're eating. It goes meat,
All right, so
lettuce, tomato, and onion. Those are the
okay.
iconic
Essential.
essentials.
Yes.
All right.
I
Well
eat
then,
tomatoes like grapes. They're so like
okay.
that's how good they are.
And if you don't like onion, take the onion off. That's fine. Onions are taste bad sometimes, but the rest you don't get rid of.
No, that's never
Tomatoes
real.
are essential.
Onions are always good. So glad. I'm glad so that the general consensus is tomatoes are bad and we're moving on from this forever.
Whatever.
Okay.
False.
So
What else you got?
what is there
Um,
anything else?
Okay, this person says annoyance when someone says, "Oh, you're gay, you should date this other random gay friend of mine." And I have never actually had that happen.
I feel
to
like
me
I could answer
before,
on this, and Anthony, if you want to chime in, you can feel free. But
Please.
no, go ahead, Spencer.
Okay, what I have had happen to me before is like now as an adult thriving gay man, I'll have somebody say like, "Oh, my son just came out as gay. Do you want to like talk to him?" As if I have some like advice to give to this kid. I'm like, no, we have no
what do you mean?
similarities.
What do you mean you don't have any advice? There's whole websites built on the fact that like older gays have advice for younger gays. You don't have any kind of it gets better for him. Just gonna be an asshole.
No.
And just, fucking deal with it. Figure it out. Society hates you. Get on with your life. Is that your advice?
Here's the thing. Ready? Here's how I know that you are being a dick. If you replace the word
Me?
gay with like no, like this person saying this.
Oh.
If you replace the word like with nobody hears, I'm a straight person, right? But nobody hears, I don't hear, oh, you're straight? You should date this other random straight person that I know. That doesn't ever happen either. So you just shouldn't do this either. Just don't classify them based on their sexuality and then tell them who they can date. So yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying. Thank you. Thank you, person, for submitting that. Thank you all for submitting your comments.
Yes, thank you for submissions. The next time we do this, we'll maybe do it sooner, but maybe not.
Probably not.
Yeah, dude, you're welcome. You got it. You got what you wanted. We talked about you.
I mean, keep sending them in. Maybe we'll mention them if they're funny.
Yeah.
But if there's no funny there, then you're not going to hear it. And you'll know that you're not funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we already know that we're not funny, but we're the ones with the microphones. So you have no choice.
We have a platform, bitches.
So you have to find what's funny to us, which is much more difficult. I think.
Yes, you as an audience should make us laugh in order for the show to be good.
Good luck and good night.
You're going to do that while chewing ice? You're going to send off the show? You're going to end the show while
Good
you're
luck.
chewing ice?
Good luck and good night.
And you're going to not even be original? We haven't even... Guys, it's episode fucking 8, I think. And we don't have a
let's
sign
use-
off. We just gave up on that
Let's use
shit.
our sign off. Hold on. No. Yeah, let's use our sign off. Let's just
It's
do
been
it. Let's
like
do
2 months. And we don't have a sign
Let's
off.
do the one that we were given. Let's do the one we were given. Spencer, you can go ahead.
I
and
don't
give
like
us a
the
sign
ones
off.
we
we were given a sign off.
I don't like
We
the
were
ones
given 2 sign-offs.
Yeah, just pile it together.
I feel like we have
We
to,
were only
this is
by-
like
by
something
the
you have to
way.
commit to for like years.
By the way, no, we don't. We can change it whenever we want.
Wait, I forgot.
Just like your
the
theme song.
structure of it.
Can I
One
just say this
second.
first of all? We asked you for submissions and it was wonderful. We actually did get some submissions, but we also asked you guys, all of you people, for a sign off. And we only got 2. It seems like our podcast is only audio, but for some reason you can't hear because we asked for 2 things. Didn't know we had deaf people listening to our podcast.
God damn it.
Oh my god.